just going to start tipping the center of gravity at the soles of our feet towards the toes. Hopefully, stop your breath at the edge there. So all you have to do is use the next breath. Slowly feel the weight move towards the heels. Arm is still relatively open. And as we use the next couple of breath cycles, just to find that heel to toe alignment, the center of gravity moving towards the feet. Let's return home. I love the ankles, the arches, near to the heels. Send back in, look on the toes, so the heels are wide. We're going to inhale once more, lengthening through the legs, up. Use our mountain kind of lifting. And all we have to do is exhale, start to roll the way towards the outer right edge of the feet. Exhale here, let's inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side, trying to keep the legs nice and long. And then once more, we're just going to use our breath to find that left to right, that horizontal mapping in the soles of the feet. And then we'll be back at center, somewhere at the top of the arches. Let that energy sink back into the mat. You can reset the mountain once more, inhaling nice and tall. Feeling that string as if it's a string being pulled at the crown of the head. What you have to do is start making small circles at the ankles. Feel it radiating outward towards the edge of the feet. So you find the perimeter of the feet. It might be a little choppy or it might be in a smooth, elliptical shape. Once you find that perimeter, go ahead and start to tighten the circles. Make your way back to center somewhere above the arches, near to the heels. Sink back in and reset once more to the mountain. Lift up the heels and toes if you need to. Making sure the feet are underneath the hips. We're lifting all the way up through to the crown of the head. And this time we're making small circles in the opposite direction. Again, at the ankles, radiating outwards. Finding that perimeter. Slow exploratory movements till we find it. And with our balance as well. And then we'll return home like water going down the drain. Back in our mouth. Go ahead and bend the knees, do whatever feels good. Shake out the wrists if you need. Resetting the mountain once more. Now we're going to start a little more movement in the ankles, hips, maybe the knees. We're going to start shifting our weight from side to side. And as you shift more of the weight, you can go ahead and pivot out the toes a little more. And what we're just trying to do is as we shift that way, is see if we can start to have a twisting, kind of opposite reaction of the shoulders, the upper torso, maybe moving along with momentum. And basically as more of the bottom of the feet, more of your torso facing one area, maybe we lift up on the toes, pivoting on the heels, just gently. What we're just trying to do is not really activate the arms. We just let the momentum, that ringing action of the upper torso and the bottom, or just that swinging motion from side to side. Bring some movement to the arms, the ankles, to the hips. You need to gently move it, not much. Let that energy clear out. Come on back, arm out. And then bring in the feet underneath. Hips, feel the alignment once more. Bend your knees if you need, and reset the mat once more. Want an internal rotation of those thighs, so press it down and pulse the feet all the way through the inner arches. A nice balance between the inner and outer rolling of the ankles, so that you can lift up. Now we're moving on up to the shoulders. So you can tuck under the tailbone just slightly, pressing into those long legs, as if you're lifting up the torso. We'll just go ahead and bring those arms nice and relax to our sides, palms facing forward if you can. We'll go ahead and inhale, lift the shoulders, come on up. Exhale, roll them back and down. So you just let them melt down the back. Arms are nice and heavy at the bottom of the exhale. We're doing a total of 4 breath cycles for these shoulder roll up, lift up, and roll back on the exhale. Inhale, just finding that energy all the way of the body up to the shoulders lifting, so that all we need to do is just exhale, roll them back and down. We'll do a second set. Inhaling, bring the shoulders up. This time we're going to exhale the the shoulders forward and down. Still melting the shoulder blades down and back. So 4 breath cycles with knee shoulder rolls. This time forward on the exhale. Make sure your foundation at the feet, you're rolling out, rolling in, so you bounce and keep your foundation stable. And then after we're done, go ahead and make a movement that helps you release from that mouse pose if you need to be, setting the mountain once more. We're moving on up to the head and the throat. And as you feel that lifting sensation at the crown of the head like a string once more, we're going to inhale. Exhale, just let the right ear hip towards the right shoulder. Inhaling, lifting up through the sternum. Exhaling, turning the gaze. Just let the gaze stop where it will. Palms facing forward. Keep the shoulders rotated outward. Hopefully they're in line with one another, just as the hips are in line with one another. Ankles and feet have a good balance. Total 4 breath cycles here as well. Inhaling for length, scanning the body for any tension. On the exhale, see if you can even rest the eyes. Maybe just a little more towards the right of your vision. You may just find the eyes resting behind the shoulders, on the shoulders, at that very last exhale. Go ahead and inhale after that. The eyes, the gaze, the crown of the head is lifting completely at the top of the inhale. So all you have to do is exhale over towards the left shoulder. There's still a good space down the sides of the tennis ball. As we turn our gaze, finding a release on the right side of our neck. Keep the foundation from the shoulders down and in line. Balance, hopefully. But all you have to do is breathe in. And exhale, release to the right side of the neck. Deep through the eyes. And very last exhale. Pressing far left side. Inhale the eyes, the gaze, crown of the head completely back up at the top of the inhale. All you have to do is float the eyes down towards the top of the mouth with the exhale. Still a lot of space between the chin and the chest. We don't want to rest anything on the clavicle there. You want that nice long back of the neck as well. Maybe a slight tilt at the crown of the head as you're inhaling. And as you're exhaling, just finding release. Finding that energy releasing all the way back down that long column from the shoulders down to the heels. You can find at the top of the inhale a sideways expansion of the rib cage. And you're done there. Bring the eyes back to the midline. Move out there. And then beyond. We're just continuously looking up until we can see somewhat above us without craning the neck. And we'll stop. At this point, use the next 4 breath cycles. See if you can find release in the throat, in the jaw, the brow line, maybe even the ears, your scalp. Each deep inhale, finding that energy, that support. Each deep exhale, maybe a small opening to a large opening over the mouth. Find some release in the jaw. Your tongue is set to rip the mouth. Gently cradle it. Release it and let it be cradled in the lower jaw. With the next inhale, just bring the eyes back to the center. When we exhale here, feel yourself really rooting down. And then we'll go ahead, shake out your hands, lift up your feet, bend one knee, bend the other, reset the mountain once more, and we'll begin our walking meditation. We start with our forward folds. The first one is a rather lengthy one, so we're going to make sure we have our core here, our core engaged. Pressing down into the feet, firming up the thighs, feeling this inward rotation of the thighs. So as you lift up, feeling that energy through the top of the head, lifting upwards, we're reaching downwards with our fingers. We're going to inhale, extend the arms up above. At a tangent swan, but we're reaching upwards best that we can. And then exhale. Start to bend the knees if you need, gently, but we're tipping that pelvic bowl back, sticking the tailbone back so we can hinge at the hips. Slowly fold with a straight back. If you need to, walk the hands down halfway, but slowly let your hips unfold. And just let the head, chest relax in the arms relaxed. You might need bent knees with forearms resting on the thighs. You might have your hands on the shins. You might have them at blocks. You might have them just dangling in the air with gravity's help, eventually helping you pull just a little closer. Chest gets a little closer to thighs. Just noticing where that column of support is. You should have your core engaged so that you feel everything from the hips down to the heels. It's one nice column of support without blocking out the back of the knees. If you have super tight legs, you can always bend the knees with a little more depth. A deeply bent knee is very tight. Lengthen it. Now, we've gone through probably a great deal of our breaths here. It's about 5 breath cycles, nice and slow. You can always just gently bobble the head to see if you're holding on to it. But we're going to prepare to come out of this with a slow roll up of our vertebra. We need to engage our core and come out with a strong inhale. Press into the feet, start to inhale upwards, engaging the thighs. You can even walk the hands out and work lengthening through the legs. You can press down on your hands if you want, but really try to use those inner thigh rotations. Try to tuck on your tailbone, pressing into the feet. And you should lengthen through the lower regions so that as you're coming back up, allow some to stack on the neck, to the head. The blood rushing back to the head like that. Just give yourself a breath or two. We're going to hold one more time. Preparing our mountain stance once more. The core is engaged, pressing into the feet, engaging the thighs and the belly. Pressing, reaching the fingers downwards. So go ahead and inhale, extend the arms upwards. We might even press into our feet and lift up in the torso. And then exhale into the hips, bend at the knees if you need, but we're tilting the pelvic floor back, bringing the tailbone back, and hinging at the hips. Loading on down, maybe a little quicker this time, or maybe still walking the hands, whatever you need. As we come back to our fold for the second time, we're not here as long. First one is about 5 breath cycles. We should be here for about 3 breath cycles. Nice and slow, engage the core, feel that good column of support. If you feel like you're tipping forward, bring some weight back towards the heels. See if you bend one knee, see if you lengthen it, maybe a little longer, straighter than before, and then alternate with the other one. See what happens. See if you're holding on to your head. Bobble the head just gently, small circles. Yes and no, movements gently. And then we'll come back out once more with a strong engagement of the core. Inhale. And you can come up with a straight back or with one slow roll at a time again. So your choice, but either way, engage your core. Inhale and come on up. We're tucking under the tailbone. We're lifting up, and at the top, we're reaching up, lengthening through our mountain. Exhaling hands down, heart center. Relax shoulders. Here, we'll begin our walking meditation. Pressing into the palms, engaging your core, and bringing standing weight to the left side of the body. Left side of the leg. So you can lift the heel of the right foot, maybe even the whole sole of the foot. Stepping it up on the inhale, exhaling the heel or the midfoot, ball of foot with toes down. Stepping into that leg, bringing standing weight to the right side of the body, lifting the left foot, and bringing it down on the exhale. Engaging the core is key. If you feel a little wobbly, pressing the palms, engage the core if you lost it. It's one breath cycle per step. If you fall out, that's okay. Just come on down. It's a slow movement to the top of the mat. Breath cycle per step. At the top. Down. Feet about hips distance apart, looking down at the fingertips. Press into the palms and watch them rise on the inhale. At the top, we'll go ahead and separate the palms, engage the core, and pivot the tailbone back so you can pinch the hips once more, coming down for a third fold. Walk your hands down, float on down. Come on down to another lengthy fold, well, actually for a short fold. Inhale, we're going to press into our shins, our thighs, our blocks, wherever we can lengthen against the half of the back, as long as you can. And it might be at this 90-degree angle to the hips. You have just over 45, that's okay. We just want to feel length on the tailbone down to the crown of your head. So make sure your vision and gaze is looking down. You're lengthening through the back. then we'll exhale back towards the blocks, back towards the feet. The mats are coming down to either side of the feet. You can use the blocks, but we're stepping one foot, then another, and we're coming back. The feet are coming back to the mat, back of the mat. We're inhaling your shoulders up above the wrists, and bring the shins down, tops of the ankles if you can. We'll come into our modified high plank. And you can tap the tops of the feet. You can keep the toes at a tuck if that's better for you. But we're really focused on supporting the bottom of our body with the tops of the ankles, with the shins, and the top of the body with our shoulders over the wrists. If you have sensitive wrists, always bring the wrists back just a little bit so it's not quite at a 90 angle. Fingers are splayed, index and middle fingers up towards the top of the mat. Thumbs hopefully just at that easy 5-finger position. Next, we're going to inhale, tuck the toes, lift up the hips, and press through those long arms to bring the hips back to the back of the mat towards our first dog. And this is where your heels might be high, and we're slowly lowering them through our practice. You might need to adjust the distance between the hands and feet. The hands should be about shoulder width. Fingers splayed once more, feeling almost like your palms are kind of tented at the center. You've got a lot of the fingers, palms, helping to distribute the support, the weight at the wrists. So then we also have the feet where you can roll to the tops of the balls of the feet. You inhale, and then exhale slowly, just lengthen the heels down. You can deep bend to the knees. You have really tight hamstrings, but we're looking for the head to be somewhere in between the upper arms. And eventually, the heels down towards the mat. And until then, you can keep a deep bend and lift the heels. With the next inhale, let's go ahead and just roll our eyes towards our hands. We're going to inhale deeply and then exhale. Deep bend to the knees if you need. And engage the core. Walk the hands to the back of the mat. Back to the fold. Fully exhale here. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen as you can through the legs, through the back. And then fold once more towards the mat. Towards your blocks if you have them here. And then inhale. Slow roll up once more, but feel that support from the feet, hips all the way down to the heels. Inhaling until you come all the way back up, lifting up, tucking the tailbone under, exhaling hands down towards center. Let's go into our second walking meditation. Press into the palms, bring standing weight to the left leg. Engage your core, lift the right foot. Exhale it down. Weight, stability to the right side of the body. Press it down, inhale the left leg up. Exhale it down. Slowly walking meditation. Soft gaze out to the lower back. And feel with your feet and your body, taking one step up and off the mat. Down, fingertips pressing in the palms. Inhale. Extend the arms up above. Separate the palms. Exhale, hinging at the hips, engage the core, sticking the tailbone back, just fold, going on down. Fully exhale here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands down on the other side of the feet. Step other foot. Long legs this time. We're going to inhale shoulders over the wrists. And just give yourself 3 breath cycles here. Feel that length from the heels down to the balls of the feet. Shoulders down to the wrists. You're feeling that nice hypotenuse from the heels all the way to the crown of the head. Sticking the belly button to the spine. Engaged core. Let's go ahead and inhale. Lift up the hips. Exhale. Cross into those arms. Bring the feet and the hands back into your down dog position. Adjusting. We're only staying here for about 3 breath cycles. So you can walk your dog, alternately, bend one knee, lengthen the other leg. You roll both feet to the tips of the toes, and exhale. See how much longer, so you have a little more flexibility, release the backs of the legs. Fully exhale here, engage the core. Look towards the hands with your eyes. Inhale. And Then we're going to bend the knees if you need. Exhale, bring the hands to the back of the mat to your fold. Once more, feet under the hips, fully exhale here. Inhale, half lift, lengthening through the legs in the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, engage the core. Bend the knees if you need. From your choice, come back up. Slow roll up or straight back with either way. Engage the core and inhale up. Lengthening at the top. Exhale with your hands. Feeling heart center. And then finally go to the side. It's a great time for some water. If you need a little parchment drink or a little drink for a heart stroke. And then we'll move on over to our standing balancing poses. You know, here we're just going to revisit our mountain. Call this our 1 square foot mountain.
One moment, please.
When we first started in mountain, maybe it wasn't as apparent how our balance felt at your feet. See if you have a little more connection to that now. So you can roll from the heels to the toes, you can roll from side to side. We just really want to feel as if we're able to internally rotate our thighs while we're pressing down at the balls of the feet. You might feel more of your arches meeting the mat that way, but you still have good contact with, you know, a great deal of the soles of the feet on the floor. And you'll notice, look down at your knees, see if the tips of the toes are at that same line, at about 1 square feet there. Once we're there, notice also your tailbone under, gently engage the glutes, and then release. And we'll go ahead, roll up the shoulders, put that up, back, and down. Feel like we're just sinking in a little more. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms up. Reach all the way up, expand that rib cage, and it's almost as if you're about to come up to your tiptoes. So really press into those feet and lift up with your hands, and then exhale. Grab your elbows. Notice which hand is on which elbow. We're going to switch them with the next set here. So we're going to inhale up and reach opposite elbows. Exhale. When you exhale, completely engage your core. Make sure your belly button is engaged. You should feel relaxation even at the tops of the hips. Inhale up once more. Exhale. Opposite elbows once more. And this time, gently see if you can pull sideways. You might feel a little opening here at the base of your side of your armpit at that side of the shoulder blades. Very broad. Inhale up once more. Opposite elbows once more. This time again, gently so you can pull in that horizontal line apart so you get some opening. Inhale up one last time, and just let your hands float downward. Thumbs are up. We're slowly bringing the palms to our sides, and then just release. Let them dangle. You can move the shoulders laterally. Imagine there's this, plane right here where you're just moving in this sort of direction with your shoulders. Maybe just the hands are pendulum swinging, helping you. And we'll go ahead and come back up once more. Now, if you would like the strap, we're going to be meeting the hands behind us as we do. So a strap is great. If you don't have that ability to touch the fingers, you can always, if you don't have a strap, you can also use the material on the sleeves. You just walk the fingers down the back. But if you happen to have a strap, it's kind of nice. You can actually get a bit deep stretch. But if your shoulders are tight, you want to move slowly into this and only go where you're comfortable. Each pose, how you hold each pose, should be a matter of comfort and steadiness. Not completely easy, but we're not trying to hurt ourselves. So inhaling, bring our arms up. And let's go ahead and just bring the left arm down. And see if we can have this holding something back here. So we can think about the arm up here, reaching upwards, elbow, just bends, so you can rest somewhere behind our head, even on top of our head if we're not able to make it down here. Then what we're just going to do is see about where this right elbow is, keeping it as vertical as possible. And the left elbow, seeing how far we can bring that elbow to our side and bend that left arm. We're having this top shoulder forward just slightly so we can bring that bend to the elbow behind us. And then here is where you're going to take about 3 to 5 breath cycles to find your sweet spot. You might use the strap focus on relaxing the top of your left shoulder so you can get that behind your back, your left arm, and the right elbow up as the left elbow is down. Everything close to the body. Eventually, we can find your sweet spot. See if you hold that for an additional 3 breath cycles. You're always welcome to come out too. And just come back in. Less intensity. Just waiting. It's 2 minutes. When you're ready to release, you're just going to let this top hand kind of gently go back down. The left hand comes to our side here. Just let your shoulders, maybe tops into your shoulders. You're swiveling a little bit. Maybe you're bringing that horizontal shoulder movement from side to side. Maybe alternately rolling each shoulder forward and back, forward and back. Just getting rid of that residual activation of muscles from that last motion. And all we have to do is move to the other side. And go ahead and reset the mountain at the feet. Make sure you're not gripping the mat. Once our 1 foot mountain is back, just a little long, a little tall, we'll settle in. Maybe only arms up. And then this time, it's the right arm going down, left arm going up. Give yourself 3 to 5 breath cycles. Find where you are here. Again, relaxing the top of this right shoulder to see where the back hand can be. Maybe it's just here. Maybe you can get the back of your hand on the back of the sacrum, the glutes. Maybe you can slowly start to work its way upward. But you want to keep the right elbow close to the body. Today I am super tight. I've been doing a lot of activity too, so I really can't go too far than this. Okay, this is where the strap is a good supporter. Just holding on to it, letting the weight of your hand kind of relax this top shoulder here, and at the same time allowing the weight of this hand help keep this left shoulder up, this left arm, shoulder, elbow, hands moving down, farther to back. Eventually, maybe it'll be. Going through your exploratory 3 to 5 breath cycles. Hopefully, you're just breathing into your next 3 breaths. Your inhales are great for just bringing energy into the body and helping you scan over the body, see if there's any tension. You're on the exhale, you can help you find maybe an involuntary release even, something that was tight. And we'll go ahead and with the next breath, just release the top arm, let it flip on down as we release the back and let it come to the side. Just let the tops of the shoulders be nice and soft. And release. Make any movement that feels good, side to side, maybe alternate rolling. Maybe a gentle yes and no. From side to side that ear, just gently. And then bring both hands to the base of the neck. If you can intertwine the fingers, that's great. We're lifting up through the elbows, lifting up through the torso, and pressing down through our feet. Hopefully you'll find that opening through the front of the body with the help of the elbows moving upwards while your head is cradled. And then exhale, gaze back to center, and release the arms. Give yourself any shoulder movement that feels good. Release from that last pose. And moving right along. All right. So as we're here, one more thing I wanted to share with you is our scaling neck rubs. Those have been just so nice lately. So if you've had a lot of shoulder, arm digging, swinging sort of thing, hopefully you'll find some instant release here. Now just from the side, you want to make sure you've got your good stacked joints, knees above the ankles, hips above the knees, shoulders, hopefully above the hips. Just a touch of the chin even. And as you do that, feel more of the body just rooting downwards. Lengthen through the body. Feel that straight at the top of the head, just lifting up. And then we're going to bring our right palm just to rest on the back of your neck. Fingers are kind of not really hooked, but kind of curved a little bit. We're just going to drag the fingers across the back of the neck. And as you're raking the fingers gently across the back of the neck, your elbows is lowering down. And then just let your arm kind of hang there for just a moment. Go ahead back of our neck once more. Kind of gently looking around the right side of our neck. We're going to do that one more time. Keeping the elbow here, just slowly releasing downward in that vertical direction so that we can drag fingertips across the base of the back of the neck once more. Hang on there for just a moment, and we'll just let it continue to step down. Give yourself a sort of forward and back movement like this. Shake out your arms. Just one more time. This time with the right fingers just a little more firmly gripped on that side. Not your jugular, but just gently holding on to it. So as you bring that right elbow downwards, this time we're going to turn our head towards the right gently as well. Feel that nice raking at the base of the neck. And then bring the grooves of the fingers under the right side of your jawline, and let's do our flip. And then release the arm. Come on over to the other side. The same thing. This time holding here, keeping the elbow vertical. We're going to slowly start to bring down the elbow and turn the gaze towards that left side of the arm. Through, bringing the fingertips along the groove of the jawline on this side, and flipping it back. A few deep breaths and all that helps us to engage the parasympathetic nervous system, that part of the rest and digest. When you're yawning, you'll get a little more relaxed. Okay. So now that we're here, we're moving into our Warrior One pose. There's one more hip opener with the use of the chair or a wall. If you are able to keep your body upright, and just bring one foot back behind this midline. Imagine your midline is right about here. If you're looking at me here, if you can just bring standing weight to your right side and bring this foot back beyond there. Some of us, we might just only bring a pinky, a toe. Maybe some of us are just trying to get that upward movement so we can balance onto the right leg. You might need that chair. You might need the back of the chair to help you. If you have any balance issues, if your vision moves from the midline, if you look up and you start to get wobbly, just having the chair or the wall near you. We're going to stand up nice and tall, inhaling, bring standing weight to the right side of the body, lift the left foot, keeping both hips forward. We're just bringing that left leg back. There's an extension of the left hip, bringing the left foot back. Maybe we can put the top of the foot on to get a nice stretch. Have your hand to the wall, maybe in front. You might have to hold on to the tuck toe position. But we're just basically bringing that knee back farther behind this right leg position. Eventually, we're going to pivot in that heel and see if we can bring the heel down and still maintain orientation of the hips square to the front of mat. So if it's too much in the hips, you might have to be lifted with that left heel. All we're trying to do is just get a little bit of space between this front foot and the back. Once we can lengthen both legs, you'll notice hopefully that we have a Warrior One stance with one long leg out front. Internal rotation of that ball foot. If you start to veer outward, see if you bring more of that arch downward. So you have a good support of your entire right sole of the foot. Once you do that, start to shift that weight towards the front so you have that straight leg still. You're bending that this back knee if it's tight and not able to straighten out, but we're eventually hoping to lengthen through that back leg as well. Again, hold on to the chair if you need. With the leg that's back, we can go ahead and bring the arm up on that side and lift up. Try to get the sternum to lift, and you're pressing through that back wall of the foot. And you're doing the best that you can. You don't have to be on the ball of the foot if that's too much at this point. You could just be working somewhere here. You could just be lifting up. But we want this back leg past this right leg. And then when you're done, we're going to bring the arm down. We're going to bring this left foot to meet the right. Toes are in line. They're about hips distance apart. And bring balance of your weight to both legs now. Not shift again. Be sure. So you can release to the right side. And then we'll go ahead and repeat that on the other side. So bringing our mountain once more. We're going to lift up through the sternum, pressing into this left leg so we have good stability there. So when you're standing weight, we just start to move the right foot back. It's no longer in line with the left foot. It's starting to walk behind that midline and really lift across this way. And as we step all the foot back, it's not too much farther past that. So we have to bend that right knee until we can lengthen that leg. And we're bringing that right heel downward, pivoting inward just slightly as it lengthens. And then shift. Shift through the front foot and the back. You want an internal rotation of that right foot so you can feel good stability on the entirety of the left sole of the foot. The right hip, if it's winged out to the corner, we're trying to bring the hips towards the top of the mat. Making it towards the top. So we'll have to make an internal rotation of the back leg, back foot as well. And if it's just too tight, bend that back knee, bend both knees if you need until you can lengthen through there. You may be playing with ball of the foot orientation until you can get the heel down. Eventually, you're looking down. You have a small opening between the front and back foot. And eventually, we're hoping to get both squared, both hips squared to the top of the mat. And we can bring the side, that back foot, raise the right arm up. I had a chair here, but if not, you might have that wall. You might have the wall in front of you. You can always lift up, lengthen. Sternum is lifting. And exhale, bring that arm slowly down. And then we can lift up, march on that back foot, and bring the right foot to the left. Back in our square foot now. Give yourself a gentle bounce at the knees. See if you can move a little bit in the pelvic bowl, internally rotating those thighs, lengthening through the legs. And then we're going to make our way down to a stack position. So as we're cooling down now, our first position of staff, go ahead and go down to the floor if you're comfortable in staff at the floor. Or you can do staff with a chair until you can transition down to the floor. Use your strap if you need to use it to help meet the distance. You can use a rock as well for your feet if you need while you're on the chair. If you're sitting on the mat or sitting on the chair, all we're looking for right now is just that ability to sit on the sits bones. That's where our pelvic bowl meets the head of our thigh bone. We're just hinging there. We want to make sure we're at the edge of the chair. So notice the farther back in the chair, the more people tend to sit on their tailbone, back curves, the sacrum curves. So we want to sit up at the edge of the chair to help us bring that pelvic tilt forward at the top. So we're sitting on our tailbone, and it just enables us to have an upright torso. So as we have this 90-degree angle, either sitting on the mat or sitting here, we're lengthening through the legs. Do that one at a time. If you find that the knee is really tented and the calves aren't touching the mat, or you're just really tented here and can't really lengthen, give yourself some time. Then inhale, lengthen through one heel, flexing the foot, and then just let it relax. Do the same thing with the other. Lengthen that. Inhale, extend through the leg, through the heel, and then relax. Just let it be. So you're feet about same hips distance apart in your staff, whether on the floor or in this chair. You're just going to get one nice tall. And start to pinch at the hips. We're leaning over the chest if you need, but we're just going to walk against downward. Walk against the sides of your mat. Just walk downwards until you stop hinging. If you're on the chair, you're probably not going to hinge forward too far. But once you stop hinging, then you can relax. You curve out the tops of the shoulders. The arms can be nice and relaxed. Just hold it there. What you can imagine is the closer your chest comes to the fold, to the thighs, you really want to make sure that your internal rotation of the thighs is going on so that you can imagine those thigh thigh bones turning, so you have a little more space. Move into the hips, bring the chest closer to the thighs, to the shins. Eventually, you might be able to just close up a little closer, wherever you are. Give yourself that 2 more breath cycle. Deep inhale, pause, exhale. When you're done with your last exhale, I'm just going to walk the hands back up. Engage your core as you do, lengthening up. Sitting back, upright, with your sits bones. Then go ahead and tap out your knees, bending them. You can do what feels good. Sometimes just internal rotation, external rotation, external rotation, internal rotation of the entire leg. Wiggle your fingers, toes. Then we'll go ahead and move into it's a pose where we're just bending a knee while the other leg is nice and long. We're seeing how close we can bring the heel to our groin area. Now, if you're in the chair, you might just have this position where you're bringing the knee closer above the hip at some point. You can just hold onto it. And eventually, if you want to go a little deeper, you might have a block at the foot so that you can start to help your knee just above that hip mark right here, eventually holding up the knee on its own, and if you have to, resting that foot on the block. But all we're trying to do eventually is just bring the shin, thigh, just folding it closer so that we can bring the heel closer to our cranium. Now, holding, once you're able to hold it without holding breath, feeling like this is really tough. You want to hold it to a point where it's a little bit of discomfort, but it's something you can breathe through. And hopefully 5 good breath cycles here, so that by the end of that last breath cycle, you might just have something releasing on its own. I'm going to walk down as you're still holding your position in the chair, and hopefully when you come down to the mat, you'll be in that position. So with tight hips like mine, having a bit of length at the hips, whether you're seated in staff or easy seated position, but enabling you to have just a little bit more length. We'll come up to our staff here, and bending the right knee. You may need to curve the back a little bit, but eventually we'll just fold it forward just slightly so you bring more of our sits bones down onto the and we're just bringing closer to our groin. So I'm up on the block, very tight, but some of us might be just sitting on the floor, sits bones on the floor, and we're just eventually bringing our foot closer as it's available. Keeping the knee and toes hopefully in the opposite leg in an upright position to around. Try not to let it roll out. You want it here and then relax. So that you focus on opening to the right hip and its knee flexion. When you're done with your 5 breaths, lean back and lean to the side. Do what you need to do to start to bring that right foot out. Slowly inch it out. And gently tap out your knee, wiggle your toes. Do a flexion gently, and then a pointing of the foot gently, and then just let it rest. Give yourself another breath or 2. Reset your staff, and now we'll move to the next leg. So just bringing in this leg. You might assist yourself. You might just bring the knee by bending it. So we're just seeing where along this leg you can bring this while still sitting on our sits bones. So you might think about curving that just slightly to start to bring in that knee bend, the hip flexion here. But we eventually need to sit upright, making sure that we're in the sits bone position. Keep our back nice and straight. Press out through the ball of the right foot. Keep yourself from rolling out. Just lengthen and focused, taking your 3 to 5 breath cycles to find your edge, nice and slow. You may not even have this deep bend. You might just be out there trying to get the sole of the foot closer to the perineum while still being on the sit bone. Do what you can where you can. You can find that edge. You can hold it, ease, stiffness, read that 5 breath cycle. Bring energy, healing, things that are aching. That's you find that you start to peel away those muscles that don't need to be used. Just bring more warm. You might find just a little bit of release. Left hip, knee, ankle, inner thighs. Again, after your last breath, come out of here. We're going to lean back. Lean to the side if you need to, but slowly start to inch this left foot, left leg back down. And if you're comfortable in the chair doing Shavasana or coming onto the back, we'll be moving into our final resting pose. So come on down. You can bring one elbow down then the other. But in our Shavasana state, we're laying down on our back. We might need a little support under the neck, maybe a folded blanket, maybe under our sacrum, maybe under our small of the back. Make yourself comfortable, see what works for you in your final Shavasana. It's just the opportunity for the body to respond to today's practice. I'm going to be sitting upright one time, but as you make your way down the floor in your comfortable state, once you find it, hopefully your arms are resting, palms up, or palms down if that feels better, but try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the feet pointed towards, the legs pointed toward the corners. It could be just one long cobra tail with the feet gently falling apart off to the sides. Wherever you are, gently close the eyes for the next 5 minutes. Just let the body sink into the mat. Thoughts come up to mind. Note observation. Return to the breath. And hear the bell. Bring your mind back to the body. Take notice sounds outside the room, sounds within the room, and finally back to the breath. Notice how the air enters the nose, how the air exits the nose. As you reconnect with the body, with your little fingers, toes, rock your knees, your side-to-side body movements. Do what feels good to reconnect and re-inhabit the body vessel once more. We'll meet in an upright seated position of your choice. Easy seated, stab, wide-legged, whichever feels good to you. But we'll be in a upright spine to sit bone position. So you want to sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and bring your left hand into a chin mudra when you're ready. And the right hand into the Vishnu mudra. Just that hold so that we can close the right nostril with the right thumb, left nostril with the ring fingertip of the right hand. And if that's too awkward, you can close right finger, left knuckle, right knuckle, left nostril, like so. Taking a nice deep breath. Let's begin our alternate nostril exercise. Inhale deeply. Close the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. At the bottom of the exhale, engage the core. Lift the pelvic floor. Inhale deeply. Close. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale. Close. Exhale. Inhale through the left. Close. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close. Exhale through the left. Last round. Inhale through the left. Close. Exhale through the right. Release the right hand. Release both mudras and let the breath return to its natural state. Bringing hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining us here at the ACC